This is the Overdue Homework Podcast.
Welcome to the show. That's Trav. I'm Drew.
And I'm Trav.
This is the Overdue Homework Podcast, and as always, we are here to give you our opinions on 80s and 90s media. Please contact us at podcast@overduehomework.com. How you doing, Trav?
Really good, Drew.
Good.
Another day off, and we get to both have the day off today.
Yes, we actually got to watch the movie before we are producing this one today, so that's really great. It's really, really great.
And new life news, I'm getting a puppy.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations.
Just worked out perfectly with the person who cuts my hair. Knows I wanted a Frenchie forever, and she used to work with someone who needs to rehome a Frenchie.
Perfect.
He's 1.5 years old. He's super awesome. His name is Douglas.
Douglas the Frenchie.
Dougie. Unless he's in trouble, then he's Douglas.
Douglas. Is his name going to be Douglas the Frenchie?
I mean, it could be.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. How are you doing, Drew?
Doing really good. I've had some time off from work, and so I've had lots and lots of podcast time, and it's been really, really great.
Boom.
Really, really great. I love it. This is what I want to do with my life.
I love having no extra pressure to do editing and all that stuff.
It's true. It's true. One less thing off my plate. The real job is on the back burner, so I can do the fun job. Sayonara, old job or that job. So today, Trav, in production of this podcast, I used a couple of articles from 3 different websites. One was from sci-fi.com, and that was by Josh Weiss. One was from looper.com, and that was by Sergio Pereira. And then I used an 80skids.com article for the first time in a while, and those are uncredited because I'm pretty sure they're AI generated. But I used it. So
Thank you, AI.
It's in there. Thank you very much, AI. So, of course, that brings us to our homework review, and this week we are doing Mortal Kombat from 1995. Yes, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, but mostly known as Paul Anderson. Directed such fan favorites as Event Horizon. That's a great movie. Have you ever seen Event Horizon?
Never seen
Let's do it. A spaceship goes to hell. That's how they that's how they travel interdimensional or the vast spans of space. They use a portal to hell. And then they exit hell and further away from where they were. It's portal hell travel, I guess.
All right.
I don't know. It's Sam Neill's in it. It's pretty good. Sam Neill ends up killing a whole bunch of people. I'll take it. Written by Kevin Downey, based on Mortal Kombat by Ed Boon and John Tobias. I love that name for some reason. Produced by Lawrence Kasanoff, starring Christopher Lambert as Lord Raiden, Robin Shou as Liu Kang, Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage, Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung, Bridget Wilson as Sonya Blade, Talisa Soto as Katana, Trevor Goddard as Kano, Chris Kazma as Scorpion, Francois Petit as Sub-Zero, Keith Cook as Reptile, and Goro is physically portrayed by Tom Woodruff Jr., voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, both of whom are uncredited. And then Gregory McKinney as Jax in just a couple little scenes.
Yeah.
Jax.
Oh, Jax.
Music by George S. Clinton, and not that George Clinton. Release date was August 18th, 1995. It had a budget of $20 million. It had a box office of $122.2 million, and that is $246.1 million in 2024.
That's pretty damn good.
That is pretty damn good.
That's pretty damn good for a video game movie.
I'd say it's probably the first truly successful video game movie.
For sure.
Easily, right? Mortal Kombat, the movie from 1995, added more action during the reshoots. Did you know that?
I did not.
Producer Lance Kasanoff recalled during a 20th anniversary interview with The Hollywood Reporter, "We went back and spent a lot more money, and we shot more fights. When we tested the first cut of the movie, the audience response was 100% uniform. We love everything we see. There are not enough fights in this movie."
Nice.
That's great. Scorpion's face-off with Johnny Cage and Reptile's battle with Liu Kang were added in post-production. Reshoots.
Nice.
So that kind of explains why that Johnny Cage fight is a little weird, isn't it?
That does make sense why it's the first one that's just totally away from everybody else.
In the woods.
No viewers, just in the woods. And, in all honesty, those are probably the 2 weakest fights, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are the 2 weakest for you. Okay, We'll get to it. That's for sure. So let's get on over to that movie breakdown, Trav.
Let's break it
Let's
down.
break it down. And the movie opens with a Mortal Kombat. I love that song.
Amazing.
I love that song. House music with real game sound effects. Sign me up every time.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go to some party where it's just like video game, like quotes and sound effects on the music, the house music. That'd be great.
Amazing.
So that soundtrack went platinum. Pretty impressive for a movie soundtrack.
They got my money when I was a kid.
I owned it.
Yeah. So
Next, we see Shang Tsung kicking some ass and some runes at the temple.
yeah.
Shang Tsung's duster is pretty great. I love that.
sick.
I love that duster. I also love that spine stamp. He zeroes in on the dude's back, on Liu Kang's brother's back,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm gonna stamp that thing.
Boom.
Stamp. Your brother's soul is mine. You will be next.
Yeah. So he totally crunches his spine, and
Yep.
then he lifts him up by the hair.
Yep.
You know, that's gotta hurt.
That's probably really gotta hurt.
like the back. I don't even think he's feeling the whole hair pulling thing.
And then Shang Tsung turns into a skeleton.
Yeah.
Sure, great.
Oh, you know.
It was a dream, and Liu Kang is in the Matrix.
Yes, he is.
Even with the rain running down the windows on that set, makes it look like the Matrix font traveling down the walls.
Oh, yeah. He's about to hop on the computer and talk to the White Rabbit.
There are some interesting parallels between this movie and the Matrix.
Yeah.
It did the things that the Matrix did and made immensely popular in the late 90s.
Yeah.
It did it in the mid 90s.
That's true.
You know, all that wire work fighting and stuff.
The duster.
The duster. Yeah, the black leather.
Yeah.
Sunglasses. Sure. The green room.
There are guns, but, you know,
There are,
Matrix
yes.
did lots of guns.
The Matrix did lots of guns. That is a fact. That is a fact. Well, it was a dream. Liu Kang did not actually witness his brother dying. It's just a complete fabrication in his mind.
Yep.
He awakes from that nightmare, and he goes to the dresser to read a telegraph, because it's 1895, not 1995, apparently. Who gets telegraphs?
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah. Nobody.
Brother dead, return home. Signed, grandfather.
That'll be the best, worst Western Union I've ever seen in my life.
Brother dead, return home.
Return home.
Great. I guess it gets to the point. So.
I guess.
Next, we're in Hong Kong, and Sonya is looking for Kano in a dank 90s nightclub. Very
Yep.
classic. Yeah.
You
So
know.
that's kind of a Matrix thing, too. The Matrix did it.
Definitely.
Well, Mortal Kombat did it first. So if you love the Matrix, you love this movie. Jax is there, and that's about all we get from Jax in this movie.
Pretty much.
We see him a little bit later on, but then it's just namesake. And
Yeah.
why do you think they decided to, leave Jax out, but then, kind of put him in there? Why not just have him in there?
Seems weird to only put him in the beginning. Why wouldn't he be part of the tournament team?
Why not? Or at least put a part in there where he gets his arms blown off so then he can have his robot arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Just something.
That'd have been sweet.
Yeah. Then for the sequel, because then he
could
can have
have been
robot
in a
arms.
match and got him cut off. or
Yeah,
something.
Goro could have ripped him off.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know the lore behind how he actually loses his arms in the
True,
video game, but
true.
still.
I'm pretty sure it isn't. You don't see the story, and then it's a new actor for movie 2. But, you never know.
You never know.
It could be that way.
Kano is expecting Sonya in the nightclub. He's like, good, she's here. Yes, great. It's all part of Shang Tsung's plan to get Sonya into the tournament. Kano killed her partner. Kano is basically bait for Sonya to get to the tournament. Kano also wants to rape Sonya in this scene.
He does.
Which
yes.
is just, okay, he's not a great guy. We get it.
He's not. We got it. No.
At least Shang Tsung's like, nah, man, don't do it. If you touch her, you're going to need a seeing eye, dog. I love the twitchy face he does with the other eye. Little twitchy eye.
Yeah.
Please don't stab my eye out.
Right.
So can he not see out of his robot eye? Because he shouldn't need...
I mean,
just get another robot eye.
I'm pretty sure he can,
Yeah.
but he can't.
He can't.
For this movie, he can't.
He cannot.
Nope.
He cannot. Sonya, she's just killing dudes left and right in this dance club. And
No one gives a shit.
no one gives a shit. No
Just
one gives a shit.
wiping them, just one after another,
Yeah.
and they just keep partying.
Yep.
Jersey Shore style.
Full on gunfire in there too, and nobody pays notice. The music must have been really loud.
Dude, it was good music.
Where's Kano? Where is he? After she blows that one dude away, and he's wearing a metal chest plate so she can talk to him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
He never does answer. He just kind of gurgles a little bit, and that's it. Bam! Flash to a man in shades entering a warehouse for a meeting. Seriously, it's such a weird cut. There you go.
Smash cut.
Smash cut. but this meeting turns violent.
Let's dance.
Honestly, it's not a great opener for Johnny.
No.
I don't think it is.
No.
I get that it's a parody of like an action movie in an action movie. So yeah, witty, funny, great. That's meta, right? Meta before meta was popular. But the fight is weak, and Johnny's moves honestly don't look good.
Yeah, they look like crap.
If you are watching this movie for the first time, you would be like, "This is what I'm going to be in store for." One of the main characters is he's going to be a bad fighter in this movie,
right? Which he is badass the rest of the movie.
Yes, he turns it around.
But they definitely make you think, okay, this is what I'm in for here.
Then we find out it is a movie, and it's a kind of a great bit after he's taken out everybody.
This is where you're supposed to fall down. Where do you get these guys?
It's pretty funny. I get it. That was good. The way the dude actually does then hurtle himself backwards.
Yeah.
That's funny. I like it. Cut.
Cut.
That director looks a whole hell of a lot like Steven Spielberg. That director looks a whole hell of a lot like Steven Spielberg, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And how bad did you want to hear JCVD delivering these lines?
Every time.
Seriously, it would have been so amazing.
Spielberg was actually supposed to make a cameo in this movie.
What?
And that was actually supposed to be him.
That's hilarious.
Yes, he was a really big fan of the video game, apparently.
Nice.
He was set to make the cameo as Cage's movie director, but scheduling conflicts that Spielberg had made it so he was unable to do the movie. So they just got another guy that looked like him.
Yeah.
And later on, you remember Spielberg actually does that cameo in Austin Powers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's kind of, he made it onto some weird movie for a Spielberg cameo.
That's funny.
Great, in gold member. Johnny is over the movie and does not want to do another take. Someone happens to be on set for Johnny. I like the guy that says that, hey, there's some guy waiting for you.
Yeah.
Johnny's like, who is it? I don't know.
You let someone you don't know on set?
I mean, yeah.
It better not be a reporter.
You want me to go check? No, he doesn't want you to go check.
No.
He doesn't want you to go check. Turns out it's his master holding that National Enquirer tabloid, which is very funny to me. That's kind of a running bit in the movie. We only see it one more time. They should have had it one more time. Like when they get into Outworld, somebody in Outworld should have been reading that Enquirer. That would have been, I think it was actually called The Examiner in the movie, but whatever. I love that bit.
Johnny's a fake.
Yep. Turns out there's a once-in-a-generation tournament for the best fighters in the world, and he can prove himself to the world that he isn't a fake by winning that tournament. And Johnny's gotta be there. There's a boat that leaves Pier 40 in Hong Kong tomorrow.
Be on it.
Be on it. Turns out that was actually Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
He's transforming because that's one of his things.
Yeah.
He just transforms, and then he transforms like back to himself before he's even offset.
Right.
Sure.
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 Okay. That's fine.
Back to Liu Kang at the temple that he left. Liu's brother died, and he took up the mantle of preparing for the tournament. Liu thinks the tournament is kind of a bunch of hooey, doesn't he? He's like, "What are you guys are dumb. It's all nonsense. What are you doing? Why are you dedicating your life to some tournament? They can't. A tournament can't decide the fate of the universe.
Yeah.
How can his grandfather even believe it?
They all do, including Liu's brother.
They all do.
Yep.
They all do. Bam. That was it. I guess Liu Kang's going to fight in the tournament to save the world. That's that conversation. And then all of a sudden, he's like, I'm going to fight.
That sealed the deal.
That's
all I needed for confirmation.
Liu Kang has been given the dream.
What?
I don't know what that means. Liu wants to go to the tournament to find the man that killed his brother. I mean, likely story.
Yeah.
But that can't be the only reason to go, or he will fail.
Oh, yes, I forgot. We were fighting for the fate of the world.
You delivered it better than he did.
Yeah. It was pathetic.
I couldn't tell if he was trying to be sarcastic,
right,
or if he was like legit believing in it. Which way is he going? I can't tell.
I don't think he's believing it, but he thinks whatever he says, they will believe in it.
True.
So he's
like,
forced to say this.
Sure, we're fighting for the fate of the world.
That's right. The fate of the world is on the line.
Enter Raiden, a Frenchman.
A Frenchman.
So that's Christopher Lambert. He, in real life, is an American-born son of a diplomat raised in Switzerland and Paris.
All right.
Interesting man,
That
right?
is.
Most famous in my heart for playing Duncan MacLeod in the Highlander series. Clancy Brown is the villain in that first Highlander movie. So Mr. Krabs. And,
nice.
Yeah,
that's
Clancy
so
Brown.
amazing.
That's pretty good. At the time, so Sean Connery was actually initially tapped on to play Raiden in this movie. I would have loved that. Sean Connery.
That would have been intense. That would have been quite the turn.
It would have been very interesting, that's for sure. But he turned down the role so he could play golf.
I mean, when you're Sean Connery, golf, Mortal Kombat, he probably thought it was between, video game or real sport. So
At that time, he really wanted the golf. He wasn't interested in doing a physical role. Turns out, though, Connery should have read the script because that's one of the reasons Lambert took the role. It's because it wasn't a physical role.
Right. Like, come on, dude. Read the damn script.
All right. That's okay. Turns out, though, Lou left the temple because the weight of the tournament was too much responsibility. But vengeance? That's so much simpler.
But why listen to this beggar?
Spare him, Lord Raiden. American life has enfeebled his mind. Too much television. Is enfeebled a word?
I mean, it is now.
If it's in 1995's Mortal Kombat, it's a word now.
It's a word now, yeah. It is over there. They use that all the time over there.
So you're going to fight in the tournament. Show me how. And then a hi-ya arm throw with some lightning, thunder clapping, and lightning in the eyes, and that's it. Lou looks like a fool.
Yep.
That is the most physical Raiden is in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And he barely does it.
For real. And that pisses off Lou. Why didn't you protect Chan?
Why didn't you? I don't know how to do his voice. His accent is so weird. Like, when I looked him up, I could have sworn that he was going to be Dutch.
Yeah.
But nope, he's a Switzerland, French, American guy.
Yeah.
Way to go, dude. I wish the life that he lived before he even became an actor is intense compared to most
Super
people's.
intense.
All right, moving on. Lou is going to go to this tournament with or without his grandfather's consent. Lou isn't ready, but there's no one else. They are out of time. They're out of time. At the docks, Pier 40 to be exact, Johnny shows up in his limo. And then a short conversation with Arlene. Oh, Art.
Oh, Art.
Oh, Art. He's another fighter. He's a fan of Johnny. You can't fake those moves.
Tell that to the press.
Once again, the tabloid that Art has. I already said I love it. Still love it.
Yep.
Turns out Johnny's a little bit racist. Tries to pay Liu Kang to carry his bags.
Yep. Probably one of the funniest parts of the movie, though, honestly.
It really is.
Thank God I didn't ask him to pay to park that car.
Thank God. Next, it's Sonya and Jack staking out the dock in full sight of everyone.
Yeah.
And then the boat is there.
Yeah.
It's so weird. That boat just kind of comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? Just, there's that giant boat.
Yeah.
Do you love the CG sails on the boat?
Love them.
Do you love them?
Just love all the CG in this movie. So good.
Johnny, it really is not impressed with the boat at all.
Yeah, he's like, the CG sucks.
You gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me.
Sonya does spot Kano, and he's like purposely being like so that he can be seen, because then she's like, she can't resist. She has to go run and get onto that boat to chase Kano down.
Obviously.
Sonya, don't get on that thing. That's such a weird line by Sonya. Don't get on that thing. Thanks, Jax. Thanks, Jax.
If you get on that, this is where my story ends.
And that ship was a good 15 plus feet away from the dock. She's not getting on that boat without getting soaked.
There's zero chance.
Zero chance. She can jump really, 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 really far.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I do now. Well, she and everyone else gets on that thing.
Yep.
I do love the ship. And this ship is like the first... I mean, it's obviously in a soundstage, but it's like the first real like taste of how elaborate the sets are going to be for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that about this movie. All the sets look really, really good. They all look really, really good. Sonya, she runs into Johnny Cage on the boat, quite literally.
Yeah. All right, tough guy. You want to get rough?
Where's Kano? With a gun to Johnny's chin. That escalated very, very quickly.
Very quickly. I don't know what you're talking about, but I can help you find him.
Sexually.
Below
Below deck, and Sonya is continuing her search for Kano. She found Shang Tsung instead, as well as Sub-Zero and Scorpion. The deadliest of enemies. But they're slaves under Shang Tsung's power. Things are going to be getting serious here. Sub-Zero freezes Sonya's gun.
Yeah.
Hold it right there. Oh, no, my gun froze.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Scorpion reveals that little buddy in his hand. That's kind of weird. I remember the first time I saw that as a kid, and I'm like, that's where that comes from, huh?
Yep.
His palm, huh? All right. That's where it comes from. But Lord Raiden has had enough. Enough! And slams Sub-Zero and Scorpion around a little bit. Oddly enough, Shang Tsung, he respects Raiden and bows to him. He does continuously throughout the whole movie.
I mean, Raiden pretty much proved he could kick all their asses.
Yeah, he is a god, I guess.
Yeah.
The god of thunder and lightning.
Right.
The god of thunder and lightning. Fighting before the tournament is expressly forbidden, and Shang Tsung's emperor knows this. My sincere apologies. Sonya's got to know, though. What tournament? You still don't know yet, huh?
Yeah.
You've been chosen, Sonya, much to my delight. That's just creepy, man.
Very creepy.
That's just creepy. Raiden commands Johnny, Sonya, and Liu to come with him above deck, and he lightnings himself out of there. Ciao! That effect is pretty cool, the red and the blue together. I think it's a pretty cool effect. Above deck, and Johnny is confused and worried about what he may have gotten himself into.
We got a guy with things coming out of his hand, another guy who freezes stuff, and there's a man who, as far as I can tell, is made out of electricity.
There's got to be a rational explanation for all this.
He's Raiden, god of lightning, and the protector of the realm of Earth.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Listen, it is time to get down. Oh, excuse me. Listen, it's time to get the lowdown on what's going on. They've been chosen to defend the realm of Earth in a tournament of Mortal Kombat.
But from who?
The Emperor of Outworld, of course.
But why doesn't he just come and take over Earth?
The only way to travel to Earth is to win 10 straight victories in Mortal Kombat. They have won 9. This will be their 10th tournament.
Shocking,
right?
A handful of people on a leaky boat are going to save the world?
Exactly. The fate of billions will depend on you, Liu, Johnny, and Sonya.
Sorry.
Christopher Lambert's idea of playing Raiden as kind of being like a not sarcastic, but like a cheeky guy is kind of weird.
It's weird.
It's kind of weird.
It's totes weird.
It's weird. With this new info, Liu is still only interested in vengeance. Raiden says he isn't ready yet. You ain't ready, Liu.
You ain't ready,
You ain't ready, dude.
He hasn't talked to the Oracle yet to find out he's the one. He doesn't believe yet.
He doesn't believe yet. But look, it has begun. Cue giant skulls and snakes. I don't understand.
Yep.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That Shang Tsung absorbs.
Yeah.
It has begun.
It has begun.
Looks sweet, but makes no sense
to anybody.
There are no reasons presented as to why these things are going on whatsoever. There's no reason. There's nothing. Just it has begun.
It has begun.
At Tournament Island. That's what I'm going to call it. Tournament Island.
Tournament Island.
Johnny has a lot of bags. Yep, that's pretty funny.
He does.
Sure, he's got a lot of bags. And
Lots
Sonya's
of baggage.
There you go. That's what it is. He has lots of baggage. There you go. And Sonya's communication equipment isn't working. And does Sonya look like Johnny's secretary? Huh? Does she? No, she doesn't.
Fuck no.
Nope. No communication devices are going to work on the island. Is it the island from Lost?
Oh my God. Is it the same place?
It's the same place. All of a sudden, Jack and Sawyer come out of the woods. Or you see Hugo driving that minibus.
Yeah, right.
What is going on here? Hey, there's some dudes fighting on the other side of the island.
We're here to save Penny.
Where the hell are we?
Do I look like your travel agent?
Oh, he got her back.
Got her.
Snap.
Mic drop.
So what is going on?
What if all the legends were true?
What legends?
Yeah, what legends?
Johnny, you're in the dark and you don't know, so it's funny. After many, many, many stairs, they make it inside of the Mountain Temple. Is that what it is? Mountain Temple? I'm sure, Mountain Temple. Looks great from a production standpoint. Already talked about that a little bit, but the detail in these sets is always impressive. Every time you watch the movie, it's impressive every time. But from a having to live there standpoint, looks less than ideal, I would say.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what the bathrooms look like.
That Johnny Cage, he's such a cut-up.
Such a cut-up.
Liu notices a sultry woman sitting off to the side, and they share a glance.
Ooh.
A knowing glance?
When a woman looks at you like that, that normally means something.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Come on, Liu. Yeah.
That means you're the one.
Shang Tsung identifies her for the audience. That's Princess Katana. She is a most deadly adversary. Like, why is he's not saying this to Reptile, who turns out to be in the foreground?
Right.
He's not saying this to Katana. She knows who she is.
Yeah.
He's just saying it out loud. He just loves to talk out. Keep an eye on her, Reptile. Keep her away from these humans. Not those humans, but these humans. Yep. There wasn't any budget left for the CG, was there?
There was no budget left for the CG.
When we watched it, did I not look at you and say, why not do a puppet?
Yeah.
That would have been better.
It would have been way better.
Why not do a puppet?
At this point, you take it for what it is. It's almost so bad that you brush it off.
Yes.
You know.
You have to.
But you have to.
The fact that Jurassic Park came out in 1994 and what they were able to do with CG and what they did with CG in Mortal Kombat in 1995.
Yeah.
All right, that Reptile, he is an abomination. It's time for dinner on a traditional dinner surfboard or whatever they carry dinner in on. It looked like they were holding the surfboard.
Pretty much,
Traditional dinner surfboard. Enter Sub-Zero and some muscly dudes. The tournament, it starts tomorrow.
I love that. Some muscly dudes.
If you're lucky, you will get to face off against Prince Goro. Better eat fast, though, because it's all over the floor already.
Yeah. Meal's over, bitches.
It's time for a taste of things to come. That dude did not stand one chance against Sub-Zero.
No chance whatsoever. He was a sacrificial lamb.
Frozen exploding body parts. I'll love that every time.
Love it.
It's kind of like an Indiana Jones moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
Obligatory.
it is.
It kind of is. It's been a while since we've had one of those in this movie, but it kind of is because he's all getting himself pumped up.
Doing the back cracking and showing off his tight muscles, and then a little hoo-hoo-ha here and a kick here and a kick there, and
Sub-Zero just freezes him. You're done. You're done. It's pretty gruesome, and it's a flawless victory. This one is legitimate.
This one is
a flawless
Good job,
victory.
Shang Tsung.
Good
You got
job.
it right this time. And then Johnny says, come to a little tournament, he said. It'll be good for the career, he said. So wrong.
It's a good line, though. I like it. Lou and Sonya and Johnny head off to find Shang Tsung. They follow Shang deeper into the mountain. Sonya says she works alone, again for the second time in the movie, actually. Lou has his own reasons for going after Shang Tsung.
He's mine.
And Johnny just wants to be part of the group, so he tags along. He's like, hey, wait for me, guys.
Wait for me, guys.
Come on. That is until they see Goro's shadow and scream. He just walks around screaming, I guess.
Obviously.
That's what he does.
Duh. Listen, you go and find out what that was, and Lou and I will wait right here.
What? Another very weirdly delivered line in this movie. Does she, she says it as if she didn't hear Johnny almost, right?
Yeah.
You could say that she's doing it in an incredulous way, being like, what are you saying? Why would I do that type of thing? But it's still weird. It is. What? It's very weird. Over to Kano. Eating a disgusting feast. It looks like it should be really good food, but it's really just terrible movie food.
Yeah.
And you can tell it is. I can't believe how many times he goes back for a bite on that turkey leg or whatever.
For real.
Because it looks hideous. He spits
gross.
it out every time after he... It looks absolutely hideous, and it's the sound effects with it. I'm like, that is just cold, waxy food, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Ugh.
Hideous. Very, very hideous. Lou, Johnny, and Sonya are all watching the dinner between Goro and Kano. That room has a nice little overlook.
Yeah, nice little perch for visitors, to listen
perch.
in on our private meetings with the strongest people.
So odd. So odd. Even Goro doesn't like Kano, though. He smacks that wine into his lap. A giant chalice of wine. That's too much wine for anybody. We do get some very important story in this bit of the movie, though, so that's good.
Yeah.
Sonya is only to be humiliated when Kano fights her.
Shang Tsung is very interested in Sonya.
Yes.
Goro needs to watch himself if he fights Lou.
Which he never does. No, he does. No, he never fights Lou because Johnny fights him at the end.
Johnny.
That's weird. Why would they even bring... You got to watch out for that Liu Kang.
It's like as if he's prepared for him, so that's why later Johnny realizes he has to be the one to take him out.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's good. I like
a
that.
little wrench in it.
We also find out that they've never been so close to absolute victory. They don't need to fuck up now.
No.
We got to go take over Earth. Come on, guys.
Yeah, dude.
And finally, the 10,000-year-old rightful heir to Outworld Katana is looking to switch sides. We also find that out in that conversation. Failure will not be tolerated. Nope. They won't be. Sonya, Lu, and Johnny leave, but they are found out by Shang Tsung, so he sends some guards after them. He does his pointing thing. He's pointing at everybody in this movie. He's pointing at everybody. Luckily, Katana sees them and is helping them by showing them the way. So that's great. Lu gets attacked by Reptile real quick. I think Reptile, that thing is following Katana. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing.
It is.
But Johnny can smell Katana's perfume, so he knows the way to go, only to have led them back to the room where they started. I smell something. It's bullshit. Thanks, Sonya. It's fight time. Time to test your might. I love the test your might. Mortal Kombat. So lots of ass kicking. It all looks great. Lu can really do some moves there.
Yeah,
he is like legit. And Johnny looks way better this time around. This is the second time he's really had to test himself in the movie. So looks a lot better.
Way better.
They handle those guards pretty dang easily. We're standing and they're not. What else do you want? That's great. Thanks, Johnny. And Raiden is there to save their asses from the rest of the guards.
Yeah.
Lightning finger, and then a little ha ha ha. So they walk out of there under the protection of Raiden. Tomorrow is the tournament, so please be prepared, guys. This is the fate of the universe, or the fate of the world. So like I said before, Christopher Lambert is a big fan of the video game. He played Mortal Kombat a whole bunch before he actually took the role in the movie, and he said this in GamePro magazine. Like I said, he said this in GamePro magazine. He said this in GamePro magazine. All right.
This is it. He says the guy. He says to him. He says to the guy. He's standing right there.
I'm a video game freak, so I knew quite a lot about the game, he said. What I wanted to know mostly was how the game was going to be on the big screen in live action. Lambert explained how he believed Mortal Kombat had a natural advantage over other video games of the time due to its possessing a rich and established storyline that could be explored. Time for the tournament. That's
Boom.
great. Fights, and more fights.
Love them.
Let's get some fights under our belts. That's why we're here after all, right?
Exactly.
From this moment on, my island will be your battleground. And Lu in his first fight. He's a joy to watch, Robin Show. He's just a joy to watch in every one of his fights. He's a really great martial artist. He makes the movie so much better. His hair makes this movie so much better.
It's perfect.
That is quite the mane. Like, that is so much hair he has on his head. It's unbelievable. Real. I love the bow staffs in this part of the movie. They always rock.
Bow staffs are like probably my favorite weapon of all time.
Absolutely.
Just love watching the bow staffs.
Yeah, the clank, clank, clank goes the bow staffs. Gotta love that. That sand is flying everywhere, and then bam, double leg kick. What do you call that kind of drop kick? Is that what that actually is called? The drop kick?
Yeah, it's definitely like a WWF drop kick.
Yeah.
But it's also Liu Kang's like most powerful shit is the double kick.
The double kick. And that dude, he is down. So that's it. He lost, I guess.
That's it. He's done for.
He's done. So Shang
Your soul is mine.
And Shang Tsung's hand eats the guy's soul, his skeleton soul.
Yeah.
Fatality. His skeleton soul. I don't know. It's very weird. You can see his skeleton, and then his hand sucks it up. I don't get it. Kano versus Sonya Blade. Another well-done fight. I think it's, hello, baby, did you miss me? Bridget Wilson does a great job and must have really trained up for the movie.
I gotta wonder, did she get this role because of beating the shit out of Billy Madison?
No, we'll tell you how she got this role in just a little bit here. She does experience some favorable edits in this movie to make her look better than she actually is.
For sure.
But she still does a really, really good job.
Yeah. Kano
starts out with the knife that he used to kill Sonya's partner. Seems less than fair. He brought a knife.
Definitely.
You can't have a knife.
Way less than fair.
Sonya does her move and breaks Kano's necks. It's her move. That's a great move. I love it. She does it. What does he say? He says, "Please don't, Sonya.
Please
give me a break.
Give me a break."
And she does. She does give him, finish him. And she does. So Cameron Diaz was originally cast as Sonya Blade.
What?
Yeah. The Mask gave rise to her in Hollywood, like we had talked about in our episode, The Mask.
Boom.
Yeah. So New Line Cinema wanted to capitalize on this and cast her in one of its other productions, Mortal Kombat. Associate producer Lori Applin was impressed and offered her the part of Sonya Blade in that movie. We put her into training because she had not really done this kind of martial arts work before, Applin said. She broke her wrist right before shooting to the point where she couldn't do the martial arts stunts we needed due to the extent of her injury. There was no need to cast another actor in the role. There was a need. There was no need to cast. There was definitely a need to cast a new actor in this role. So Bridget Wilson Sampras, she's married to Pete Sampras, if you didn't know that.
I did not know that, but
married
that's
to Pete
super
Sampras,
awesome because I love tennis.
I bet you they play tennis together all the time.
I would guess.
She explained how she auditioned for Sonya around 7 times and believed that she might not get the part after the lengthy process. However, the offer eventually came and she received a phone call asking if she could fly out the next day to the production. So like, hey, we need you in this movie. Here I come. Next day the movie starts.
That's
great.
awesome.
That's great. Next is Johnny in the Woods versus Scorpion. Lyndon Ashby's best scene, I would have to say. It's his best fight, at least.
Oh, for sure.
His best fight. He looks really good. Let's the get over here, the come here, the get down, and the welcome. Like,
welcome.
I get it. He says get over here in the video game.
Yeah.
But the other things, he doesn't need to say those other things.
Doesn't. You don't need to yell everything.
Welcome.
Welcome.
That's a laugh out loud moment.
He's like Bane who knows martial arts.
Yeah.
He's very, very limited vocabulary in this.
I do like the chase scene with little rope dragon guy going all over the woods. That was kind of cool. I like that.
Do you remember that being a thing in the games? Like, that's what... It was a little dragon head that came out of his hand? I sure don't think so. Until
this movie depicted it as it being like a live animal.
Right.
I never thought of it as a live animal.
Don't think it's a thing.
I never thought of it coming out of the palm of his hand. I just figured it was a video game thing where most video games have weird mechanics where you can pull guns and stuff out of nowhere. So
Right.
I just figured it was that. But no, it's coming out of his palm. It's a little rope dragony guy and apparently is really, really long.
Right.
Really, really, really long. So is that warping thing video game accurate? And I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, he warps like from spot to spot, but he doesn't you can't go with him, and you don't go into another map.
So I guess it makes a little bit of sense then. I forgot that he has that move.
He does have the teleport.
I forgot about that move. But yes, that makes it have a little bit of sense then. Just a little bit. Otherwise, it's just weird.
A little bit.
All of a sudden, they're in a different place.
But it's fine because I like the setting of where they go.
Yes,
way better than out in the woods.
True.
Randomly.
The scaffolding fight was really close quarters combat, so it was fun to watch.
Right.
And it's so dark, it's really hard to tell, but it looks like Lyndon Ashby was doing most of that stuff.
Doing most of the
Most of it. Some of those hard falls was not him. He's not swinging around that high bar.
Some of them quick roundhouse kicks, I feel like I could tell it was someone else.
It had to be. Those were the shots. They were always from a distance when he was kicking up high like that, because I don't think he can do that.
Which is why the scene could have been even better if it was JCVD.
Because he would have been really
doing his own shit.
Doing all that
awesome.
shit. Doing all that. He does a good job in this one, but you're right. JCVD would have done much better in this scene.
Yeah, I think he does really good, and it's a good fight and a good scene. I just don't like how easily he finishes Scorpion.
Yeah, it is weird. All of a sudden he's using a shield and shit.
Yeah,
it's weird.
As soon as Scorpion reveals the skeleton, he's a pansy.
Yep.
It's like there's nothing else he can do.
No.
Well, he's a prop at this point. So he's going to just stand still. You can chuck a spearhead at him, cut him in the stomach, cut his head off, and then he's going to implode.
Yep. And then his head's going to explode, then he's going to explode, and then he's going to explode again.
Yeah.
3 explosions.
That's
pretty good.
Pretty good.
It all looked really, really cool, but the mechanics of Scorpion just standing there doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
So to go back, I am glad that they added this. This is one of the 2 you said they added. It is good. I just hate the ending.
The ending is dumb. The ending is dumb. Very anticlimactic.
For Scorpion.
The autograph picture, though, is a nice touch because that is straight from the video game.
That's hilarious.
I like that. It is funny. It's a moment of comedy, just like it's presented in the video game.
Definitely.
So the ending doesn't make as much sense as it should. That's for sure, of that fight. That's for sure. Next, it's Liu versus Katana. It's not a great fight.
Weak.
It's mostly informational.
It's
an informational fight.
Is getting pissed.
She wants to help him. To win your next match, use the element that brings life. Katana, that's enough.
You disappoint me.
She lost, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he's calling it.
He's calling it. It's over with.
That's it. 10,000-year-old warrior, the rightful heir to the throne. I'm calling it.
I'm calling it. I mean, she's not going to get killed by Shang Tsung. She's the Emperor's daughter.
Obviously.
Adopted daughter.
Adopted daughter.
But she's not going to get killed. So the romance between these two, Katana and Liu Kang, was cut from the movie. Well, there's one thing that's definitely missing from Mortal Kombat is a romantic theme. There's little inklings of it, but it's all been cut out.
Right.
So there was supposed to be romance between Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, and there's supposed to be romance between Liu Kang and Princess Katana. Robin Shou said that in the original script, it was supposed to fall in love with Katana. Direct quote was, "I was looking forward to it, but they thought we have so much action, we don't want to add romance to it, so they cut it out." That was the like, too much action, no romance.
You know, I'm honestly kind of fine with that.
No need for romance in the movie.
Keeps it at like the hour and a half mark instead of hour 45 with some pointless romance stuff. Come on, don't need it.
Don't need it at
all. Plus,
all.
then it's funnier to watch what's supposed to be romance between them two.
Not be romance.
Not be romantic at all.
Our next fight is Liu versus Sub-Zero. Sweet fight. Give me all the Robin Shou all the time. He is very heavily featured in the second half of this movie. Yeah. It's all his show. Some great acrobatics in this one. Why put Sub-Zero's only weakness in the ring, apparently, just for fun, to make the movie have an ending type of thing?
Yeah.
That's great. And why is water his only weakness? You'd think it'd be something that he would control and like master and be really good with, right?
You'd think he would be somewhat impervious to it.
Yeah.
You would think if Raiden brought that and he came in and he saw those buckets, he'd give a little freeze real quick so that nothing can happen with the water.
To him, right.
But no.
That's just okay. Okay. Because literally, there's no way Liu Kang would be able to beat a person that is able to control ice and freeze you to death.
Right.
No
Especially
problem.
when his only element is fire.
It's fire.
Like,
that's
sorry,
it.
bro.
And even though Katana told Liu twice in the last fight to use water, basically, she still needed to show up and be like, "I'm telepathically communicating with you now, it seems like."
Yeah. Water. Oh, my God. That's right. That's what she said.
Giant icicle to Sub-Zero's torso, and he did.
He's dead.
Bye, Sub-Zero.
See you later, Subby.
Is it time? Yes, we've let these humans win long enough. Win too many matches.
Yeah.
Goro versus everyone else that entered the tournament, and Artline. That's what's next.
Seriously, as we're watching, I'm just saying, where did these 30 scrubs hide out this whole time that they're already skipping to Johnny against Scorpion and Liu Kang against Katana back-to-back with Sub-Zero? But all these dudes, I'm believed to have won at least a match.
They would have had to have.
Or two before they get to it, and then they're just like, yeah, we're just going to throw an insane amount of matches at Goro because we can. That's what the people are here to see. He's the reigning champion. Okay, then, I guess.
Okay, then.
And then, like you said, and then Art shows up.
And then Art shows up. Art does not stand a chance, honestly.
He really doesn't.
I mean, who would? The dude has 4 arms and looks to be about 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
You know what's weird about his design? He should have pecs for the second set of arms.
He definitely should.
Because otherwise those arms can't move forward and backward. They'd only be able to move up and down.
They're sidewinders.
That's it, just up and down. He needed a second set of pecs.
Yep.
It might have looked really weird then, but he needed a second set of pecs.
Instead of, like the 12-pack that he has, he's just got 2 seseparate 6-packs.
Yes, I like that.
Badass.
That would have been great. Art does get a few punches in.
Yeah,
you know?
You can do it, Art.
That's right. Use the kick. Thanks. Thanks, Sonya.
Thanks, Sonya.
And then as he's getting pummeled, some great advice from Johnny.
Get out. Get out.
He does not, in fact, get out.
No, he does not.
Flawless victory.
If he would have just listened to Johnny.
Yes.
He would have been fine.
Yes. Just like Jackson should have listened to Jean-Claude Van Damme. Should have listened to Frank Dukes. Go for the gut.
Yeah. And once again, flawless victory. No, that's not how that works.
It was not a flawless victory.
No,
and this time
Art got some shots in.
He did. And this time, Shang Tsung eats his soul with his eye. Eats Art's soul with his eye.
However you got to do it.
Yeah.
You just get it in there.
You just eat it with your eyeballs.
Yep.
Raiden said, there is no. It seems to be that there is no way to defeat Goro or Shang Tsung in the movie at this point. Raiden says mortal men and women can defeat these monsters, no matter how bizarre their powers seem. There's always a way. Only one thing can defeat you. your own fear. You have to defeat your fear before you can win the tournament. Johnny, he's afraid of being fake, and Sonya is afraid of accepting help. And Lou?
What about me?
Oh, you're afraid of your own destiny. Shang Tsung will use your fear against you. You must be prepared.
Yours is a little more complex.
You must be prepared. Later that day, and Johnny has decided to challenge Goro for the sake of the other fighters and to protect Sonya because he loves her now.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yep, he's a good guy and he loves her. Yep.
Can't let that happen to her.
I mean, he does say he has a plan.
He does say he has a plan.
He's got a plan. And even though Johnny isn't supposed to fight Goro yet, Shang Tsung decides to grant Johnny's wish. But he gets to challenge the winner if he so chooses. Shang Tsung does.
Yep.
I'm going to challenge the winner if I so choose.
Or anybody I choose
Yep.
at the place of my choosing.
Yep.
Verbal agreement. That's how the tournament works.
Yep.
Yeah.
Raiden,
on the 10th one.
Raiden shows up and he tries to intervene, but Johnny's plan, Raiden shows up and tries to intervene in Johnny's plan, but it's too late.
Too late.
A deal is a deal.
Deal's a deal.
How do you say? A deal's a deal?
You kind of just said it.
What have you done?
This is our tournament, remember? Mortal Kombat, we fight it.
This is actually a good thing, according to Raiden. At last, one of them has understood. He's not, like, doing anything, Raiden.
No.
He's not doing anything.
Nothing.
He's not teaching them anything.
Nothing.
Not one
Absolutely
bit.
nothing.
Goro versus Johnny Cage, and the crowd loves Goro. Goro, 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 Goro. Goro hates Johnny Cage's sunglasses, and he smashes them.
Those are $500 sunglasses.
This puny mortal will be no problem.
Let's dance.
Splits count one?
Splits count one.
Dick punch one.
Dick punch one.
Yeah. He did the move.
He did it, dude.
He did the move, and his balls, the dude's balls hurt Johnny's hand.
Yeah.
Ouch, his balls. They're very hard. It wasn't enough to stop Goro, unfortunately. Finish him! Johnny lures Goro out to the cliffside.
Those were $500 sunglasses, asshole.
So Johnny kicks Goro off the cliff,
This is where you fall down.
and Goro does.
And Goro does.
So Goro was a $1 million animatronic controlled by 16 puppeteers.
Holy crap. So he was 5% of the budget.
Yes, according to the production designer Jonathan A. Carlson, they spent $1 million on that puppet. Like, I just imagine it being like, they spent $1 million on that stupid looking puppet. Like you said, that's no small thing for a movie that has a budget of $18 million.
Yeah.
Carson recalls that Goro had 13 to 16 puppeteers. The cables were going all over the place. One guy would be doing the eyeballs, the other guy would be doing the eyebrows, then the other guy would be manipulating something else. For this reason, the animatronic often proved very difficult to work with. Director Paul Anderson said he broke down a lot, and we would have to wait for him. Goro became the diva of the set. Everyone would joke about it and say, Goro won't come out of his trailer. Still, some computer trickery was used on Goro in post-production. Anderson notes, we did bits of CG enhancement to help with the lip sync stuff. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And obviously they had to airbrush all those wires out of there.
Obviously.
He for the most part, Goro looks good.
Yeah.
When he has to move too much, he looks bad.
Then he looks like crap.
He looks like crap.
For sure. And I did have to hop on U.S. inflation calculator to see how much those $500 sunglasses are, because
Ooh, yes.
500 seems like a shit ton to me already for a pair of
Yes.
sunglasses. That'd be $1,000 now.
Yikes.
Which is
$1,000
kind of
glasses.
scary to me that in 1995 the dollar is now $2.
Yes.
Nowadays.
That
is scary.
That
But
is
yeah,
very
$1,000 sunglasses, people. He is an asshole.
He is definitely an asshole. So after the bit with Goro falling to his death, Shang Tsung kidnaps and challenges Sonya to the final battle in the wastelands of Outworld where Raiden can't follow. And even though Shang Tsung challenges Sonya, she still has to accept the challenge. And according to Raiden, that was what Liu Kang had to learn. That's what he said.
Yeah.
You've learned everything. I can teach you no more.
Yeah, that was it.
Dude, you didn't teach him shit.
You didn't teach him anything. Straight up.
They will find another guide in Outworld if they look hard enough. They don't have to look at all. She finds them.
Yeah.
Reptile is headed to Outworld as well. In Outworld, things are very bleak.
I can see why they want to change a scenery.
Definitely. So they head to the tower that they can see in the distance, the Black Tower. And it's Liu Kang versus Reptile. I don't get the mechanics of Reptile becoming a real boy. But
A real boy.
But I do love the fight.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And so, this is the best music of any fight.
Yes.
Other than when the actual theme is playing, which is the final fight that we'll get to. But I love the music in this fight. I love Reptile, like the idea. You throw him in there. He's got the green suit. I like the simplicity of what they do with Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile in the suits. What I don't like about it is I feel like Reptile was done super dirty. He has none of his actual reptilian powers.
No, he doesn't.
Once he turns into a real boy.
Yep.
It's like he can do the invis and the camo and all
Right.
that stuff until he turns into a real fighter.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he's just the dude in the green suit.
They could have at very least had him spit his poison thing that he
The
spits.
very least.
That would have been easy
or
to do.
even just do the same like camouflage, make him invis one time
There you
like
go.
he does when he's the reptile.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
They should have done one
Give him
thing.
something, because he is a badass character in the game.
Very, very badass character in the game, and it's like one of those first real hidden characters that
Yeah.
I remember learning about as a kid. That
Yep.
you can unlock Reptile, and then you'd unlock him. You're like, oh, it's just a green scorpion or something.
yeah.
Okay, sweet. I do love the introduction, Reptile.
Yeah.
When he turns into, they fight once again. Robin Show, he shines with the great acrobatics, the fastest action of any of the fight scenes, if you
Oh, yeah.
ask me.
Definitely.
Doing all them flips and shit. And then Liu Kang's bicycle kick to finish the job. He did the move.
Badass.
He's very badass. Reptile turns into Bugs and gets his head stamped in.
Oh, no, you don't.
Why does he turn into Bugs? He's a reptile, not a bug.
I don't know.
Bug-tile.
Yeah, it's like Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before
There you
Christmas.
go. That's
gets
what I wrote
unzipped,
down.
and there's the bugs.
There's the Bugs. Bug cocoon.
Bug come.
Katana, she reappears. Well done. And she's the new guide.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
She's also from Outworld, and they lost 10 Mortal Kombats, and everyone was killed, and she was adopted by the Emperor.
So she has officially taught them more than Raiden.
Yes.
Already.
Already. How can Liu stop this from happening to Earth? He has to face 3 challenges in the Black Tower. Face your enemy, yourself, and your worst fear.
Yikes.
Seems kind of, honestly, why not just fight Shang Tsung and beat him?
Yeah.
Why do you have to do these 3 things?
Nobody knows.
It seems gimmicky in the movie. Just fight him.
Yeah.
He
Seriously.
killed your brother. You're going to save the Earth. You don't need to face your enemy, yourself, and your worst fear.
No.
Just fight him.
Just fight him.
Just punch him in the face. Cue some sweet 90s CG sequence, and we see the tower and Sonya tied up next to the ring. She looks like she stepped straight out of like a Warrant music video with that hair, right? I would not, if I was her, if I was Bridget Wilson Sampras, I would have been like, why do I have to be tied up and scantily clad in this movie?
Why was the outfit change?
I mean,
at all?
it is in the video game, correct? That stage is in the video game with Sonya tied up
Oh, yeah, that's
in
true.
the dungeon.
That's true.
But still, like, she doesn't need to be tied up like that in
Yeah.
a weird leathery bodice.
Right.
Yes, I just said bodice.
Bodice.
I just don't get that. A whole bunch of monks enter the room as well. Sonya refuses to accept the challenge, but this means that they forfeit the tournament and the portals from Outworld will open on Earth and the Emperor will be overjoyed. Yay! Portals! But Sonya's friends will be there to save her, right? Right?
Yeah.
And they are! They're dressed as monks. How did they do that?
Yeah.
One short scene, please.
Give us something.
Like, literally do the comical, like, at the bottom of the tower where they beat up some guards, drag them into a closet, and then come out wearing their their monks, their
Come
monk
on.
uniforms.
Please give us
Just
that.
one sign, because all of a sudden they're there, and they're in there,
I agree.
and no time has passed.
Stupid.
It's very stupid. Anyways, Katana points out that Mortal Kombat cannot be won by treachery. So whatever it is that Shang Tsung is trying to do, it isn't going to work out. Earth will be closed off to Outworld forever if Shang Tsung's plan comes to fruition. So fine, he's going to challenge Johnny Cage instead.
Nope.
Liu Kang challenges Shang Tsung.
Do you accept or yield?
I accept.
Duh.
Shang Tsung versus Liu Kang. Test your might. Love that.
He challenges him and he's like, well, I'll yield.
I'll yield.
Dun, 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 dun. Just the
Mortal
credits come.
Kombat!
Like, what the hell?
That would have been the best thing ever, Trav. That would have been the best thing ever. After a flurry of elbows and kicks, Liu draws first blood. Way to go, Liu.
Yeah.
So the kid gloves are off, and Shang Tsung channels the souls of all the warriors he has faced in the past, literally bringing them to life. Face your enemy. All 6 of them.
Yeah.
Not fair.
Not fair at all, but it is because they come one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. Liu faces them and defeats them. Kicks their asses, as a matter of fact.
Obviously.
Is that all you've got, sorcerer? I can see into your soul. You will die. Face yourself.
You can look into my soul, but you don't own it.
That's it. He faced himself.
That's it.
That's it.
There it is.
Face your worst fear. His brother, who else? Why is his brother shouldn't be his worst fear?
Definitely
His
not.
worst fear should be Shang Tsung.
Yeah, because his worst fear is that he couldn't help his brother from not dying. But not his brother.
Not his brother.
He's not afraid of him.
He's not afraid of his brother. And it was weird that he was fooled that it was his brother, even though he watched Shang Tsung transform into a different person. He's like, I didn't save you. Oh, wait a second. You're not my brother.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
It's not really you. He's like wanting him to be talked out of his own suspicions. Like, I know I've been fighting Shang Tsung, but is it you? No. Every man is responsible for himself. Shang Tsung killed my brother.
You're mine. Final match, go. What a match. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's a little slower than you would hope out of the final match.
Definitely.
But it's still pretty good. First, Shang Tsung has Liu on the ropes, smashing his head into the ground. But Liu stands up, even more determined before. Give the man a little blood on his forehead. He just got his head smashed into the ground.
Give it to me,
just
please.
Just a little bit of blood. Matching Shang Tsung's attacks and gaining the upper hand.
I pity you, sorcerer.
Save your pity for the weak. Liu landing punch after punch. He's doing like that backhand, front hand punch.
Yeah.
Those are always really cool. Those are really cool. I love that stuff. I love
it. It's very game-esque.
Yes,
too.
very game-esque. He pushes Shang Tsung all the way to the edge of the balcony, and they're fighting on, landing one last double punch, sending Shang Tsung flying onto the spikes below, skewering him to death. Flawless victory.
No.
Nope.
No. Once again, now, Lou, you're not understanding.
Not a flawless
You've
victory.
been hit. It is not a flawless victory. And the other part we were talking about watching that as he's just onslaughting him with the double fist, is it's pretty much like playing the video game with somebody who has never played the video game before, and they're just button mashing and killing the shit out of you as you're trying to do all your combos.
That's so true, Trav. It's so true. Shang Tsung dies, turning into a mummy, releasing all the souls that he had captured, including Liu's brother, Chan. And they lock fingers.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That is a thing that brothers do.
Yeah, ghosts or not, you do it. You
lock your fingers, and you hold that stare.
Yeah.
Eye to eye, locking
eye.
fingers.
I love you, brother.
One day they will be reunited. My spirit will always be with you. Go in peace, my brother. Let's go home. They did it and arrived back to Earth with a hero's welcome. I've been waiting for you. What took you so long?
I guess you knew this would happen all along.
I had no clue. You humans are so unpredictable. I've got to tell you something. You guys did something great. But then we hear, bow to me. It's the Emperor. You weak and pathetic fools, I've come for you. I don't think so.
No.
Fight pose.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. Roll credits.
Roll credits.
That's so great.
So great.
It's so great. Trav, I know you loved it.
Obviously.
Tell me about that movie,
Dude,
please.
I love this movie maybe more than I thought I did. I mean, it's for sure one of the best video game movies of all time.
Definitely.
This first one. I have no problem rewatching it over and over again. It's funny that we now know the correlations between Bloodsport in this, and then it makes me want JCVD in this, something I never thought of as a kid, but that would have been awesome in my opinion. But yeah, what did you think about it?
I really love this movie. It was a movie that I went and saw with my father in 1995, and I kind of wish it was rated R, honestly.
Yeah.
Just for my adultness, that I want a little bit more blood.
Yeah.
A little bit more something on there. I don't know. Just a little, maybe a couple more swear words than just asshole 3 times.
Couple more fatalities.
Yeah, some real fatalities. And they do kind of deliver that stuff in the second and the third one a little bit more.
Yeah.
A little bit more. But I bet you I've seen the second one time in my life because it's terrible.
It's terrible. Definitely terrible in comparison to this first one.
Definitely.
But we will get to it.
Oh, we
eventually.
will get to it eventually. But everything about this movie, it's just like a really good, fun watch.
It is.
It's not a bad movie. It crosses that line of so bad it's good.
I agree.
Portions of the film are terrible, like the script.
Right. Yep.
But everything else about it, the sets, the locations that they're filming in Thailand in this movie, like the budget in this movie was used in some really great ways to really capitalize on what they could.
Right.
And then just, do what they could with what was left over. you
Yeah.
know. But I really like this movie, and it's definitely a movie that will be watched by me again. It's a great, fun movie. Makes me think, puts me in that space of 1995, being 11 years old and going
Yeah.
and seeing a PG-13 movie with my dad.
Right.
It's a good movie. I enjoy it, and I can't wait to watch it again. Honestly,
Yeah.
Trav. Honestly. So, is there anything else you want to talk about with Mortal Kombat? Oh, I got one thing. JCVD declined this role because of Street Fighter.
Really?
He was asked to be in it, and he thought Street Fighter was going to be the better movie. And so
Okay.
he's like, I'm going Street Fighter, not going to do this. But they're like, the character's based on you.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage is based on. No, I'm going to go do Street Fighter and be American Man Guile. But we know how that ended up turning out. The
Yeah.
Street Fighter is the far inferior of the two movies.
Far inferior.
Far inferior of the two movies. But with that said, Trav, why don't we get on to that homework assignment?
Let's do it.
And of course, our homework assignment, of course, as if we've already
Of course. You know what it is.
is X-Men, the animated series, season 1, episodes 1 and 2, which is a 2-parter. That's how we're doing them both.
Yep.
Based on X-Men by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, developed by Eric Lewald, Sidney Iwanter, and Mark Endes. Iwanter.
Iwanter.
That's a weird name. Sidney Iwanter. Voices of Professor Charles Xavier is Cedric Smith. Scott Summers, Cyclops is Norman Spicer. You know what? I'm not even going to say all these names because there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
Put them in the show notes, all right?
Yep, they're in the show notes.
Theme music composer was Ron Wasserman.
Yep.
Said that really weirdly. Composers, Ron Wasserman, Suki Levy, Noam Keneal, and Amatz Plessner. Number of seasons 5, number of episodes 76. Original network was the Fox Kids Network. Originally released October 31st, 1992, and it ran until September 20th, 1997. Halloween release, Halloween special.
Crazy.
That is interesting. So, yes, we are doing episodes 1 and 2, and it's a 2-parter called Night of the Sentinels. And I'm excited to get to it, and I have watched it recently in the last probably year. I tried watching through X-Men, the animated series, just on my own for fun.
Yeah.
Made it about 10 episodes in and then got distracted by other stuff.
For sure.
But I'm excited to do this one. This cartoon is like... A lot of people our age can probably credit it with us getting interested in comic books in this way.
Definitely.
I've never been a really big comic book guy, but it definitely brought that, the idea of comics and what they are really to the forefront for me and made me understand like who these people are and made
Right.
me have the interest in things like Marvel and Spider-Man and X-Men and all that stuff more than I would have before.
Agreed. I don't think I was nearly as into superheroes until X-Men came around. And I remember my uncle was like super into X-Men.
Yeah.
There was some sort of trading card back in the day when we were kids that was X-Men related. I don't think it was a game like Pokemon
Yeah.
or Yu-Gi-Oh, but some sort of collectible cards. And I remember him getting me into it, and they had like all the VHSs
Nice.
of this. But yeah, I'm pumped to get back into this. They're redoing it.
Yep.
I mean, not redoing it, but they're
Continuing it, yeah.
right now as we speak. So it's going to be interesting.
I just remember the show feeling so gritty and
Yeah.
like serious for like a kid to be watching, and like especially like the Phoenix saga with Jean Grey and dealing with like basically doing a whole season on mental illness for
Yeah.
kids. Like it's pretty intense stuff if you really think about it.
Definitely.
Can't wait to get to some of those episodes because I can't imagine that we won't continue to do these.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that we
Obviously.
won't. So. Once again, that was X-Men the Animated Series from 1992, episodes 1 and 2. It's a two-parter, Night of the Sentinels. Check it out. Go do your homework. You can see it on Disney+. Do your homework. Do your homework. Do your homework,
peeps.
Well, Trav, with that out of the way, why don't you hit me with that outro?
Outro time. So we actually have no emails today.
Great.
But I think it's a perfect time to remind people that if you want to listen to emails, you have to email us.
There you go.
podcast@overduehomework.com. Whether it's a suggestion, a question you want us to read, or any nonsense you want us to read, period.
Yeah.
We will do it.
We will do it.
So I'm just going to have a few questions for you. Do you remember what your favorite Mortal Kombat game was growing up?
Well, the one that I owned personally growing up was Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy.
Nice.
So, not a great version of it.
Like the first one.
Yes, the first one. And it's just a bad version of it. On the Game Boy, black and white is just, green and black.
Yeah.
It's just not a great version of the game.
Can't live the bloody glory of Mortal Kombat with that.
No, you really can't. So I would say that was my favorite Mortal Kombat game growing up. But the one that I liked the most was the original Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis.
Nice.
I just remember it being a real game changer.
Oh, yeah.
Was seeing that for the first time. Really seeing a Genesis for the first time was really eye-opening, having only played Super Nintendo for the most part growing up. And hockey friends had a Genesis, and we had a big get-together for the team at David house. David, I'll edit out your last name because I know you're a listener. I haven't talked to David in 20 years, so I have no idea where he is in his life. But he had the Genesis, and he had the Mortal Kombat, and he was like, "Look what I have, Mortal Kombat. Let's go play it." And so we went and played it, and I remember being like, "What? Whoa!"
Was this only on Genesis? Because I remember playing it on Genesis as well.
It was on Super Nintendo as well. A little bit later, but it was on Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
And Super Nintendo had the blood code. You had to turn on or off the blood because the blood was automatically off.
Yep.
They changed it gray, so it was sweat.
Yeah.
Sweat flying off of their face.
Nice.
But yeah, that was probably when I think of Mortal Kombat, I think of Sega Genesis
the
as
OG.
Mortal Kombat. That's
for
what
sure.
I think of.
That's where I started, for sure. I'd say my favorite that I put the most hours into was Mortal Kombat 3.
Nice.
Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on Super. Played that a shit ton. I remember my family had a Game Gear.
Sweet.
And they had MK2.
Nice.
So we'd play those. But I think the one in the arcade cabinets growing up was always 3 as well.
Yeah, I feel like seeing that one at Pocket Change was 3.
But honestly, I had a lot of fun with Mortal Kombat throughout the years,
Yeah,
period.
agreed.
I think the 64 one is considered garbage, but I remember loving it when it first came out on there. I think that was the 4th one. And then, there's been so many, but I want to say it was Mortal Kombat Deception. You could get a collector's edition of either Sub-Zero on the cover or Scorpion on the cover. It was PS2 days. I remember that one being the shit. I had to go to Mall of America for some reason to buy it.
Interesting.
I couldn't get it anywhere. Maybe Mankato didn't have it growing up. I don't know. But
It might have been sold out.
Mortal Kombat, man. It's a lot of fun games for Mortal Kombat.
It was a perennial rental for me. I would rent it, and play it over the weekend, do my best trying to learn as many of the movesets as you possibly could, and then return it. I'd be like, I just played Mortal Kombat for 16 hours over the weekend, so I'm good.
Yeah. So we kind of answered this already by somewhat shitting on Street Fighter, but I was going to ask you, so let's not say what was the best of these 3,
okay,
but what was your favorite of these 3 growing up? The first Mortal Kombat that we just covered,
okay,
Street Fighter, or Double Dragon? Because I know you watched all 3 just like I did. So pretend you're a kid again. Which one do you remember liking the most?
Double Dragon, I think, is the one that I probably liked the most. It was that was like a big-time sleepover movie.
For sure.
Whenever I'd have a sleepover, it seemed like we'd be renting Double Dragon, Super Mario Brothers with John Leguizamo, or Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Rarely, because it was 95 when this one came out. Those other 2 came out before that.
Shortly.
And so those are the ones that I remember renting. So I think I'm going to say Double Dragon. And who's the guy that's in Double Dragon? What's the guy's name? I can see his face. What's the guy's name? What's the guy's name?
Like one of the main 2 guys?
Yes.
He's in some huge show that was on regular TV, but I forget what the hell his name was.
Let me see your face. Scott Wolf.
Scott Wolf.
Party of Five.
Yeah.
It was Party of
that's what it
Five.
was.
Scott Wolf.
It's funny that you say that because I think Double Dragon was my favorite growing up, too.
Interesting.
I feel like it was between Double Dragon or Street Fighter, which we have now clarified are definitely inferior to Mortal Kombat.
Yes, they both are.
They both are.
Yes.
And I think Double Dragon's the worst of the three if we get to, which we will, cover all three of these. I think that's the one we'll be shitting on the most, next to maybe the second Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But I truly enjoyed Street Fighter 2, but I think Mortal Kombat is the best movie.
Yes, it is the best of the three. And I understand why I didn't see them at sleepovers. It's a PG-13 movie.
True.
So probably 10-year-old Drew wasn't allowed to rent that for a
10-year-old
sleepover.
Drew couldn't do that.
Couldn't do that. Had to watch either Super Mario Brothers or Double Dragon or Street Fighter. So because those are all PGs.
All PGs.
All PG movies.
So my last question for you today is back to our roots of friendship. The first things we ever started talking about was Game of Thrones and Walking Dead.
Yep.
Are you planning to get back into Walking Dead now that Rick is back on the show?
Say what?
Say what?
I didn't know he was back on the show.
Yep, so it's...
Didn't he die?
No, they don't show him die. They just show an explosion.
He didn't
And
die.
he like falls off the horse into the river or whatever it is, and you never see what happens. For years, they had rumored some movie.
Yeah.
Then that fell through.
Okay.
Like 5 years ago already.
Yeah.
And now there's a show called The Ones Who Live,
Oh.
and him and Michonne have reconnected. Like
Oh.
they're back in the show, and people say it's amazing. But I'm so
Interesting.
far behind, and I haven't seen any of the spin-offs.
No.
But Rick is so good that it
Right.
makes me want to frickin' check it out again.
Well, I still haven't watched The House of Dragon either.
Me either.
So I need to watch that. And then next season of that's coming out.
Yep.
So I think I'd be more likely to watch House of Dragons,
Yeah.
The House of the Dragons.
Whatever.
It's
I
one
know what you're talking about.
variation of one of those things. I'm more likely to watch that than try to cram in like 6 seasons of Walking Dead that I've missed.
That's true.
Those
is
are
true.
hour episodes, and there's like 12 to 14 of them a year.
Right.
That's a lot of viewing.
Yeah, if I would do it, I would skip all that, and I would just go right to this
You think
6
so?
episodes just to see. And then if I felt like I was missing out a bunch of story, then maybe I'd go back. But I just want to see Rick again, man. I love Rick Grimes.
I bet you they're going to treat it almost as like a soft reboot.
I think so because, there's been a rumor that they're going to now link up all these, because like Negan and Maggie are in their own spin-off. And then
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Dead City it's called. And
Interesting.
then Daryl is in his own show.
I
where
did
he's
not
in,
know
like,
that.
Paris or something like that.
I did not
And
know
I think
that.
Carol finds him. And then you've still got Fear the Walking Dead people. And now you've got The Ones Who Live with these two. So I think... maybe after all these years, they're finally thinking we should wrap this up.
Probably.
And they're going to bring them all back together, and
oh my God.
it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. You're right. It's like a soft reboot. You're not going to have to watch those previous seasons.
I don't think so.
No.
Soft
reboot.
But, yeah, that wraps up our quote-unquote email section. We'll say my question for Drew section. But you can email us at podcast@Overdue Homework. Make sure you are following us for updates on Facebook and Instagram at Overdue Homework Podcast. And as always, don't forget to tune in to the next exciting episode of the Overdue Homework Podcast.